HTTV in association with Absolute Warehouse Services. Ryan, thank you for popping in on this call for us. Obviously, with the football season suspended at the moment, we can see you're in the very sunny Huddersfield. But we thought we'd use this opportunity to catch up with you and your loan spell at Livingston. How have you found that so far?
I think the experience has been good. Obviously, moving away from home, learning different lifestyles as well. Obviously, it didn't start the way I wanted it to with an injury. I think you're always keen going into a new club, you're wanting to impress, and I think I pushed myself a bit too hard. Looking back on that, but yeah, they obviously brought Robbie in, who's obviously a very good keeper, and I've had to fight for my space, and I think I've put a valiant effort in for my spot. So it's been good to get a couple of games under my belt, and you probably look at it and I've probably got more games under my belt at Livingston than I would have done at Huddersfield. But obviously I'm out there to get the experience, and I've spoken to Danny and Nicky and Clem as well, and we're all on the same page with how it's going.
For you, obviously, at such a young age, to go to a new club, to then have that injury setback so early and have to respond from that. In terms of the long-term view, that can do a lot for you, can't it? Because you'll have had to get over that mentally, first of all, and then put yourself in a position where you can fight back for that number one spot.
Yeah, definitely. I think, obviously, with the injury, it's never ideal time to get an injury, but it definitely wasn't the ideal time there. I picked it up in a 45-minute friendly against Ajax, which wasn't ideal. Obviously, I wanted to play in the game and get through the game and things, but it wasn't ideal. And then it took me 4 or 5 weeks to get back fit, in which obviously Robbie had played and started playing well, and then I've got to get my head around that and focus on the training. And I think I have done. I'm always one that's in first at the training ground doing the gym, and I like to see I'm doing things right. So for me, it wasn't too much about the mental state. It was just about getting back fit and playing.
And for you, obviously, like you say, get back fit and playing. You started and performed very well, if I don't say so myself, against Rangers. That must have been a really good experience for you to play against a side as good as they are.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, playing in front of 40,000, 50,000 people is what you want to do, and that's one of the experiences I came up here for. I think with the performance I put in, I think I'd done enough to put my name out there and put my name back in the equation with the managers, and they said that I had done, and unfortunately they chose to play Robbie, which it's their decision. I can't influence their decision. I can only perform as I did. And again, you've got to get your head around that and keep playing and keep training, and doing the best you can in training to put that decision back on them.
But obviously after that Rangers game, you received some very nice text messages as well. The chairman got in contact with you, told you how well he thought you'd done in that game and that you were doing the club proud. That must mean a lot to you to come from someone as high as Phil Hodgkinson is.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's obviously great to hear from the likes of him. I know he likes to get involved with the players and keep the players up to date with his thoughts, and that's good from a chairman's point of view. But no, I think hearing from people like that, and Clem, obviously, Clem, we speak all the time, and hearing that he thought I'd played well as well, it's just, at the end of the day, it's just my job to play in goals and keep a clean sheet. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to get anything out of the game, but on another day, I think we could have done.
And talking about Clem, how have you found keeping in contact with him? Obviously, you're miles apart, and he's constantly looking at your development because he's been throughout pretty much your whole career. You've been fairly level in terms of being in the academy together and then the first team together. How have you found that relationship now you're separated?
No, I think me and Clem, obviously, we do have a good relationship. I think he's been a very pivotal part in my career. I can't thank him enough for everything he's done for me. Right from the age of 14, 15, however old I was when he came in, we've worked together through the academy. We stepped up to the first team at the same time, and I think we've got that relationship where I can tell him what I think, and he can tell me what he thinks, and we learn from each other, I'd like to say. And I think being away, it's not been that difficult. Obviously, he's only on a phone call away, and we've spoken to each other after the games I've played, after a couple of weeks of training, etc. And he's kept me in the loop of what's happening at Huddersfield. I've kept him in the loop of what's happening with me at Livingston. So I think that it's worked well, obviously, just to catch up every now and again, and we all know what's happening.
And from the games that you've played in so far for Livingston, how have you found the kind of different standard in football, the different styles that they've got up there?
Yeah, obviously it's a completely different game up there. I mean, you'd liken it to when I was at Notts County, quite similar footballing tactics from a lot of the teams, not necessarily getting the ball down and playing, more going off the front straight away and things like that. But I think the quality of what teams do it in, I think the quality of how they go about and do it is fairly good. And yeah, I think for me it's like we said, the games against Rangers and Celtic, they're obviously big. You've seen how well they've both done in Europe this year as well. I think them two teams are good, and it's good experiences coming up against teams like that.
And you mentioned, obviously, it's a big change for you off the pitch as well. How have you found moving away from home? Obviously, fully, you're living in a house with guys, obviously from Livingston. How have you found all of that?
Yeah, I think obviously I got a taster of it at Notts County last season, doing half a week away, half a week back at home. But obviously it's 4 weeks away from home.
Yeah.
But no, look, my family come up every weekend and come to watch every game, regardless of whether I'm on the bench or whether I'm playing. So credit to them. So they've made it nice and easy for me as well. And like I say, Clem and Danny and Nicky, they've been brilliant as well. They're only a phone call away. They've been checking in to check that I'm doing fine, and no, I can't thank everyone enough.
And for you, obviously, putting the slight disappointment aside of not playing every week now for Livingston, the season as a whole so far has been a pretty good one for you, hasn't it? In terms of you making your Huddersfield Town debut, keeping a clean sheet on your league debut, and then going out to Scotland and performing, like we said before, very well against Rangers. The whole year's had good experiences for you.
Yeah, I think obviously if someone had said to me at the start of the season, you'll make your debut for your boyhood club Huddersfield Town, you'd make your championship debut, and you'd play against Rangers at the Ibrox, I think that's not the end of it. Now, obviously, it is disappointing that things haven't worked out as I would have liked them in this loan spell, but at the end of the day, I'm ready for if the season gets up and running or whatever happens. We don't know what's going to happen, but if it does get back up and running, I'll be straight up there and straight fighting for my spot and hoping to get back in the team. I'll never give up, and hopefully I can get back in the team for the end of the season.
And just finally, obviously, the Livingston fans seem to have taken to you straight away, haven't you? You've got quite a good relationship with them.
Yeah, I think that's an important one wherever you play. I think obviously football without the fans, as you can see at the moment, it's nothing. The fans mean everything, and especially growing up around Huddersfield, I think I've experienced how I'd like the players to have treated me as fans. So I just try to give that back, basically try and do as much for the club as I can, and whether it is my parent club Huddersfield or whether it is my loan club Livingston, I'll try and do everything I can for the club to make sure they succeed in the future. And
they've got a little song for you, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got a little one, yeah.
You want to...
No, I don't want to know. I'm sure you know that one yourself, Adam.
Well, thank you very much for catching it with us, Ryan. And if football carries on and finishes the season, good luck for the rest of the year again at Livingston.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Adam. Thank you very much.